See, alright, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. We say double and say apostle, and let's agree, Muslim and Luba, our teachers, our apostles in truth, and we say salutations, so the Akim, we say push with no truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season or the season, we say shalom. And once again, going into our video here, and it's basically touching upon a topic, it was never about peace. Now, this goes into, Trump and his so-called Nobel Prize, which they gave him to be what the president of peace, right? He also did something called the Board of Peace, right, where it's a group of leaders from around the world that got up together to make something called the Board of Peace. But it was never about peace, because now what you hear here, Trump, I don't care about the Nobel Prize, so it was never about peace. This is something that, again, if is what you consider as what year, the year 2026, right? And you still believe in these Edomites, then something is wrong with you, right? If you still trust in the words of these Edomites, then something is wrong with you, not them, because they actually following, they actually doing what they're supposed to do, right? They're actually showing who they are. Scriptures call them what, the border of wickedness, and that is what they would do. See, the wicked, but could only do wickedly. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do butcher, but let me go to the scripture. Sorry, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 10, chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12, verse 10. It says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So yes, so the scriptures say what? But the wicked shall do wickedly. So what they feel the wicked going to do? The scriptures call them the wicked, the border of wickedness. Let me go to that. Let me read from Malachi chapter 1, and I'll read from verse 1. It said the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. That's another cut, for these people that talking about it's for everybody, and the Lord was speaking to everybody. The Lord was speaking to a particular people, which is Israel. That's the reason why you have these Edomites who portraying to be us. They know that, hey, the Lord choose a particular people, right? But they are not them. You understand? So this is verse 2. You say, I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains, his heritage, waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Call them the what? The border of wickedness. Now, when you look at the word border, right? I'm going to skate here quick. Bible border, right? Border. This 1 minute, right? The border of wickedness. I'm gonna go to Malachi. Why is this doing this? Malachi. Right. The border, right? It says border, territory, region, right? It says a bound, a space, right? But I also want to get a different meaning. Right, so yeah, I ain't getting the take, but nonetheless, as the scripture said, they are what? They say, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord had an indignation forever. Not just for a period of time, but forever. But as the scripture said, the border of wickedness, right? So that's what they are, right? So what you feel the wicked going to do, they could only do but wickedness, right? And we see, continually, even even with all the stuff that's going on right now, even with the so-called border of peace that they created, which is like a group of let me see if I find it here. The board peace. Could I find it on this news page here? Right. So as you can see right now, who it is that sign up to become a member of the Board of Peace. That's what you name alone. You know, I ain't want to say it. The who. The who, right? You seen it right there, right? And what kind of stuff he's done. What kind of things he is actually doing right now, right? You could go up in the Accords. You could even look up what's recently came out about, you know, the Epstein Island and all these set of stuff, these other things, and you would see, right, the kind of wickedness that's been done, right? And he signed up to become a member of the Board of Peace, right? So again, there's no such thing as peace, right? And what peace you gonna get from from Esau? They don't want no peace, right? They don't. Right. So continuing, so they don't want peace, and let's go to another scripture right now. Let's go to the book of Psalms, right, chapter 55, and let's jump down to verse 21. Right, it said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right. So yeah, so it's the scripture is literally describing them. They say his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So they're saying things like this, you know, giving out rewards, right? Like Nobel Prize for peace, and hey, we could bring peace to the earth. You know, as something he also said today is that there's so much winning going on, but winning for who? Not for Jake, right? For Esau, right? That is who winning. And we know that this kingdom is coming to a fall soon, right? But you could see the words that they use, it seems good, it sounds good, right? Verse 22, it say, matter of fact, I'm going to go back up to verse 20. It say he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. And that is what we dealing with, these covenant breakers, you know. Yeah, sorry about that, just a call, but it say he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant, and that is who he dealing with. That is the people he's dealing with. The people that actually be at peace with him, he break that. You know, if like there were this guy, right? There was this guy. I believe I did a video on it. Well, I could be wrong, right? But you know, he came out and he actually brought so much information, so much document, so much proof to show that America has broken, you know, all the treaties that they try to do, all of the peace that they try to push forward, all the laws that they push, they have broken every single one. Even though they are the ones that pushing it, they break every single one, right? So why even church scriptures mention not to trust our enemies, right? So why would we trust them, right? Why would we want to believe what it is they're saying, right? What you things that they have done unto Jake, slavery. They used to take, you know, they used to take the babies out of the mother's womb to feed them to alligators so they can make what leather. These are hard facts about history. That is something the president of America want to get rid of all which he did, right? He was breaking on the museums. He was doing certain things, changing up certain stuff that they can't talk about, certain things in his schools and many other stuff, right? So why believe these people, right? They don't want peace, right? Verse 21, it said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. That is what in his heart. So even though he's talking about peace, he's talking about one of the things he mentioned when he was taken over, when he went to did what he did in Venezuela, he mentioned about drugs, right? But Esau is the biggest drug cartels on the earth, right? There were facts, plenty CIA agents, FBI agents, ex-agents talk about how the drugs reach into the communities in the first place, right? Go and look up the situation with the opium. Go and look up who is the top buyers of it. And you would see that, hey, they don't want no peace, right? And how could they get peace from a wicked man? Matter of fact, this reminds me of a scripture, right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah 13, verse 23. Let's say, can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So how a man that is accustomed to do evil, how could he come forth and say he will bring peace? He can't, right? It's only one way he would continue to move, because again, it should be mentioned they go estranged from what? From the womb, right? It's roughly paraphrasing. It have no good to come from the wicked. You say, then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. That are accustomed to do what? Evil. How could they do good? How? So how could they bring forth peace? How could they talk about bringing forth peace? And again, it was never about peace, because are they not going into, you're hearing about the wars and the rumors of what wars right now, talking about what's happening in Iran, what's taking place about or about to take place, right? Does that sound like somebody that deserves a Nobel Prize about peace? It's never about that, right? So let me read some of the comments here. Him literally a week ago, yeah, because he wanted his prize, but again, that was never his plan in the first place, right? You see, Norway faces up to Trump's demands for the Nobel Peace Prize. So you see, it was never about peace, right? It was never about peace, right? They have this stuff to do. Hey, the scriptures call them what? Scriptures mention that they will take what? Peace from the earth, right? They liken unto what? To death and hell, right? It said Revelation 6 verse 4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. To take what? Peace from the earth. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Right? That blessing. A sword. Right? So it said to do what? They would take peace from the earth. So how it was never about peace. Right? Never ever about peace. Right? And again, watch the things he's doing right now. Watch the stuff that he's putting out. You know, right now, if you go and look up, did I save the stuff here? No, I did not. No, I did not. I'm gonna take off this, right? No, I did not. It was a news. It was actually an article, right? A news article showing how much ships, how much planes, how much jets is actually across on that side of the world right now, right? And how much the tankers and all these things across there. So where's the peace? Again, it was never about peace, right? So with that, once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yoshai, Ba'ashem Krakodash. We say that once apostle elders agree Muslim and our teachers, our apostles in truth, and we see salutations. So the Akim, we say the push with no truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season on the season, we say Shalom.